Israel's so-called separation barrier has provoked domestic unrest and attracted international criticism. The route the wall takes has been deemed by the International Court of Justice in The Hague to be illegal and inhumane.
The issue of human rights that the International Court of Justice brings up is the issue of proportionality. Have a right to defend your population. Nobody is saying no. But you can't be disproportionate about it. You can't completely oppress and destroy another population for the sake of your own population. That's really the issue.
If the wall had been built along the Green Line, which is the internationally recognized border between the West Bank and Israel, well, Israel has the right to build a wall either on the Green Line or within its own territory. There will be about 50,000 Palestinians on the Israeli side of the wall when it's complete, and again this undermines the security argument.
But Arnon Sofer argues that the revulsion expressed by many around the world is sheer hypocrisy.
We are not Europe, and even Europe, they erected walls, they don't tell you. But go to Gibraltar, to Malaga, Gibraltar to Portugal, Melilla, Ceuta in Morocco. What they are doing, these bloody Europeans? They are building walls, and they criticize me.
And yet it is not just the international community that has condemned the wall. Even within Israel, there are many who believe that it isn't serving any useful purpose.
He was Minister of Defense.
Yael Dayan is Deputy Mayor of Tel Aviv, but probably better known for being the daughter of Moshe Dayan, the hero of the 1967 war, in which Israel annexed the West Bank. This current wall, she argues, is not the answer.
First of all, it's not effective, and it has become, instead of being an obstacle to terrorists, it became another obstacle to peace in the sense that it is a provocation. It's not a peaceful partition. It became a political statement, and it adds very bad, deep feelings of additional occupation. And also internationally speaking, it doesn't have legality from anybody in these places where it splits the population.
Yet the Israeli public went along with the idea. A highly decorated army pilot believes they allowed themselves to be duped with catastrophic results.
Naivety. I am not using the harsh word stupidity. I'm saying naivety. To the people who want, you know that 80% of the Jews in Israel are waking in the morning and they say, oh my God, I want peace. Oh my God, so much. The left in Israel is praying for, he will give you his mother for the peace. Oh my God, I want peace. Naivete and stupidity. They thought that they'll build a fence and all our problems will be okay.
The wall is redrawing the map. Some Israeli commentators see it as an attempt to define in wire and concrete a future two-states solution by including within Israel the land of the Palestinian West Bank on which the illegal Israeli settlements have been built. And it is the settlers who stand to gain most from the wall.
It's a kind of a settlers' wall because they have adjusted the wall to the reality on the ground, to what the reality that the settlers have dictated with, of course, the full support of the government for many years. So, actually, if you look at the map of the wall, what you see is that the principle was maximum settlers, maximum settlements, minimum Arab population in Israel. So it has also a demographic dimension in it.
The meaning of the wall has nothing to do with security. Check the path yourselves. See that it is only protecting settlement, that it is built based on future plans for expandment of the settlement. The fence is not even protecting current settlers. It's going to protect future settlers, and that's absurd.
Many Palestinians too believe the real purpose of the wall is annexation.
If we are going into 2001 to Arnon Sofer, and the first proposals, it was for the demographic issue in order to limit the Palestinian expansion, because there is a fear, according to them, that in the 2020 the number of Palestinians in historical Palestine will be 60%. So by the wall, he said that he is going to assure that the Palestinians will be 30%.
The wall is basically about the idea that we don't want to see the Palestinians. It's a psychological barrier. It's not only a geographic. It's actually a two-state solution, but the way I want it to be. It's to get rid of the Palestinians, to get as many settlers inside Israel, and to give the Israelis the feeling that they are safer.
Put the Palestinians within walls, take out the land and the resources, no land that they can build and expand in the future. Their life will be impossible. And in these ghettos, there will no development, so they will force to leave. And they will force to leave by themselves. It means voluntarily expulsion.
Some, though, are determined to hang on. Hani's house is surrounded by the wall on all four sides. Why? Because it is right next to an Israeli settlement. And he is adamant he won't be giving up.
As long as I'm alive, I will never leave my house, whatever happens. When they failed to lure me with their incentives, they began threatening me. The Israelis came and said, "We'll send an intelligence officer who will fire at the settlement, and you would be blamed for it. We'll then demolish your house, you'll be branded a terrorist, imprisoned. You will lose everything. No livelihood for you, no livelihood for your children. So the best thing for you is to leave." But I resisted everything. I told them that I have only one choice. I'm going to stay here in my home, and I will never leave.
Like all partitions, Israel's wall both excludes and encloses. The hardship which it would cause the excluded, the Palestinians, was predictable. What now worries many Israelis is what the wall has done to them, the enclosed, how it has created something which in historical terms is unthinkable.
We are building ghetto for ourselves. You know what a ghetto is. The Nazis put us under a ghetto in Warsaw. They built a fence around us, and what are we doing? We are fencing ourselves. We are putting ourselves in a ghetto. We shouldn't live like that.
But the wall continues to grow, and in the present political climate, it's difficult to see a time when it will be dismantled. Those on the extremes feel that this is a good thing.
I would like to see such a wall that even eagles will not be able to fly over. We don't belong to these crazy people.
You know, there is a story I heard from a former general who told me that he was sitting and having coffee with a very old man, a Palestinian old man in Bethlehem. And he told him, you know, I've been here with the Turks, with the British mandate, and with the Jordanian, and now with you. I've lived through all of this. You are treating us better than all the others, but you're the worst. So how come? So, because you're the only one who are taking our land. And this is the settlements and the war. So, in a nutshell, I think this is the whole story.